I found out my sister had been stealing from our dying mother while I was changing Mom's diapers. Hey everyone. Before we dive into this story that honestly still keeps me up at night, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. Your support means everything, and trust me, you're going to want to share your thoughts after hearing this one. The envelope was sitting right there on Mom's nightstand, crisp, white, with my name on it in Mom's shaky handwriting, but when I opened it, it was empty. Completely empty. That's when I knew. That's when 27 years of sisterhood died in a single moment. But let me back up. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was always the golden child. You know the type. 3 years older than me, captain of the debate team, valedictorian, full ride to Northwestern. While I was struggling through community college and working nights at Denny's, Sarah was climbing the corporate ladder at a Fortune 500 company in Chicago. Mom used to light up when Sarah called. Actually light up, like someone had plugged her into the wall. "Jenny," she'd say to me, "Sarah just got another promotion. Isn't that wonderful?" "Yeah, Mom, wonderful." I was the one who stayed local. I was the one who married my high school boyfriend Mike and had kids young. I was the one who visited every Sunday for family dinner, who remembered Mom's birthday, who drove her to doctor's appointments when Dad died 5 years ago. Sarah visited twice a year, Christmas and Mom's birthday, like clockwork, 48 hours maximum, then back to her corner office and her designer life. But Mom never stopped talking about her successful daughter in Chicago, never stopped showing off Sarah's LinkedIn updates to the neighbors, never stopped comparing. I should have seen it coming. When Mom got diagnosed with Alzheimer's 2 years ago, guess who became the primary caregiver? Not Sarah. Oh no, Sarah was so busy with work and dealing with her own stress. Sarah sent flowers, Sarah made phone calls, Sarah promised to help coordinate care from Chicago. I quit my part-time job at the bank. I moved Mom into the guest room of our house because we couldn't afford assisted living on Mike's mechanic's salary. I learned how to manage medications, how to redirect her confusion, how to change adult diapers. You ever change your mother's diaper? You ever seen the woman who taught you to tie your shoes stare at you like you're a complete stranger? It breaks something inside you, something that doesn't heal. But I did it. For 18 months I did it. Because that's what daughters do, right? The ones who stay. The ones who show up. Sarah visited 3 times during those 18 months. 3 times. Each time she'd sweep in with expensive gifts Mom couldn't use anymore. Cashmere sweaters for a woman who lived in sweatpants. Gourmet chocolates for someone on a pureed diet. Books for eyes that could barely focus. "You're doing such a good job," Sarah would tell me, patting my shoulder like I was the hired help. "Mom's lucky to have you." Then she'd leave, always with some excuse about an important meeting or a client dinner, always leaving me with the real work. 3 months ago, Mom had a bad fall. Emergency room, broken hip, emergency surgery. The works. That's when Sarah suddenly became very interested in Mom's medical care. "I think we need to discuss Mom's long-term options," she said during one of our phone calls. I was sitting in the hospital cafeteria, exhausted, living on vending machine coffee and stress. "What options?" I asked. "Well, the house is just sitting there empty now that Mom's with you. It's a lot of equity. And there's the savings account, the CD, the life insurance policy." "Sarah, Mom's not dead." "Of course not. I'm just saying we should be practical. Plan ahead. Mom would want us to be smart about her assets." That's when she suggested she handle Mom's finances, temporarily, just to take some pressure off me. "I have the financial background," she said. "I understand investments, tax implications. It makes sense." It did make sense. Sarah had her MBA. Sarah worked in finance. Sarah was the responsible one, the successful one, the one Mom trusted with important things. So I said yes. God help me, I said yes. The power of attorney papers arrived a week later. FedEx, overnight delivery. Very official. "Just a formality," Sarah explained over the phone. "This way I can handle the bank accounts, pay Mom's bills, manage her investments. You focus on her care." I signed them. Mom signed them too, during one of her clearer moments. She seemed pleased that Sarah was finally helping. My smart girl, Mom said, smiling. My Sarah knows about money. Within a month, Sarah had consolidated Mom's accounts. For efficiency, she said. Easier to manage everything in one place. She took over Mom's bills, her insurance, her Medicare paperwork. Don't worry about any of this, Sarah kept saying. I've got it handled. And I believed her, because she was my sister, because she was the smart one, because I was too tired from sleepless nights and medical appointments to question anything. Besides, what was I going to do? Check up on her? Demand bank statements? She was doing me a favor. That's what I told myself anyway. Last month, Mom started talking about her will. Not unusual for someone in her condition, they fixate on things, worry about details over and over. The envelopes, she kept saying. Did you get the envelopes? What envelopes, Mom? The ones I made for you and Sarah, with your names. They're important. I looked everywhere. Mom's bedroom at our house, her old bedroom at the family home when I went to pick up some of her things. Nothing. Finally found them in Mom's jewelry box. 2 white envelopes, one with Sarah written in Mom's handwriting, one with Jenny. Sarah's envelope was thick. Mine felt empty. But I didn't open them. They weren't mine to open. They were Mom's private business, whatever they were. I put them on Mom's nightstand. Here they are, Mom, the envelopes. She seemed relieved. Good. Don't lose them. Promise me. I promise. 2 weeks later, Mom had another episode. Worse than usual. Paranoid, agitated, convinced someone was stealing from her. They took my money, she kept saying. Someone took my money. I tried to calm her down. Mom, your money is safe. Sarah's taking care of everything, remember? No, Mom said, gripping my arm. Check. Please check. She was so upset, so insistent, that I finally called the bank, just to reassure her. I'm sorry, the customer service rep said, but I can only discuss account details with the power of attorney holder. That would be Sarah Mitchell. She's my sister. I'm the primary caregiver. Can you at least tell me if there have been any unusual transactions? I'm sorry, I can't discuss any account activity. I hung up frustrated. Called Sarah. Mom's having paranoid episodes about her money, I told her. Can you just, send me the account balance or something? Just to show her everything's okay? Long pause. Jenny, I don't think that's appropriate. Mom's financial information is private. I'm not asking for details, just confirmation that everything's normal. Everything's fine, Mom's just confused. You know how she gets. But something in Sarah's voice, something wasn't right. That night I couldn't sleep. Mom's words kept echoing. Someone took my money. I got up around 2 a.m. and went to check on her. She was awake, staring at the ceiling. Mom? You okay? The envelopes, she whispered. Check the envelopes. What about them? Open yours. Mom, I don't think. Open it. So I did. Right there in the dark with Mom watching me with those cloudy blue eyes that used to be so sharp. Empty. Completely empty. Where's what was supposed to be in here? I asked. Mom's face crumpled. She took it. She took everything. Who took what, Mom? Sarah. I wrote you both checks. Same amount. From my savings. For when? For after. But she took yours. My hands started shaking. What kind of checks, Mom? $50,000. Each. I wanted you both to have something. I wrote them months ago when I could still think clearly. The room started spinning. Sarah's envelope? Look. I opened Sarah's envelope with trembling fingers. Inside was a check, made out to Sarah, for $50,000, dated 6 months ago. My check was gone. I confronted Sarah the next morning, called her at work. Did you take a check from Mom's envelope? A check that was meant for me? Silence. Long, telling silence. I don't know what you're talking about. Sarah, I opened the envelopes. Mom told me what they were supposed to contain. Mom's confused, Jenny. You said so yourself. She's not reliable. So, you didn't take a $50,000 check that was meant for me? Another pause. When Sarah spoke again, her voice was different, colder. Listen, I've been managing Mom's finances for months. I've seen how much her care is costing. The medical bills, the medications, the modifications to your house. If there were any gifts from Mom, I used them to cover her expenses. Gifts? Sarah, it was my money. Mom wrote that check for me. Mom has dementia, Jenny. Legally, she can't make financial decisions anymore. That's why I have power of attorney. You stole from me. I managed Mom's assets responsibly, which is more than you would have done. The line went quiet except for my ragged breathing. How much? I finally asked. How much what? How much have you taken? It's not just the check, is it? Sarah sighed. I think we should discuss this in person. How much? Jenny. How much? The savings account had approximately $200,000 when I took control. There's about $30,000 left. The phone slipped from my hand. Actually slipped. Like my fingers just stopped working. $200,000. Gone. Where? I whispered into the phone. Mom's care is expensive, Jenny. The medical bills. Bullshit. Her insurance covers most of the medical. Where's the money, Sarah? Some of it went to a financial advisor. Investments. Some went to her care. Some went to... Look, I've had expenses too. Coordinating her care from Chicago, taking time off work. You took Mom's money for yourself. I took compensation for managing her affairs. It's standard practice. You're not a financial manager, Sarah. You're her daughter. You stole from our mother. I did what needed to be done while you were playing nursemaid. Playing nursemaid. That's what she called it. Playing nursemaid. 2 years of my life? 2 years of sleepless nights, panic attacks, watching the strongest woman I'd ever known fade away piece by piece. 2 years of sacrificing my marriage, my job, my sanity. Playing nursemaid. I hired a lawyer. Cost me $3,000 I didn't have. Put it on a credit card. It's complicated, he said after reviewing the power of attorney documents. Your sister technically had legal authority to manage your mother's finances, but she stole from her. That's harder to prove. She can claim any withdrawals were for your mother's care or legitimate expenses. What about the check she took from me? Again, if your mother wasn't competent when she wrote it, it might not be legally valid anyway. So she gets away with it? The lawyer leaned back in his chair. I can file a complaint with Adult Protective Services. We can request a full accounting of how she spent your mother's money. But proving theft, that's an uphill battle. What will it cost? Conservatively, $50,000 to $70,000 in legal fees. And that's if we win. I laughed. Actually laughed. I don't have $50,000. My sister stole the $50,000 I might have had. The lawyer gave me a sympathetic look I'd been getting a lot lately. I'm sorry, Mrs. Patterson. I really am. I called Sarah one more time. Last time. I want Mom's money back. What money? I told you I used her funds for her care and legitimate expenses. Her care costs maybe $2,000 a month, Sarah. Where's the other $150,000? I'm not discussing this with you. You bought a house. Silence. I saw the real estate listing online, 3-bedroom colonial in Naperville, cash purchase 6 months ago, right around the time you became Mom's power of attorney. My personal finances are none of your business. When you bought that house with our mother's money, it became my business. Prove it. 2 words. Prove it. Said with such casual cruelty that I actually felt something snap inside my chest. You know what, Sarah? You're right. I can't prove it. You covered your tracks well. Mom trusted you, I trusted you, and you used that trust to steal everything she had. Are we done here? Yeah, we're done. We're done forever. I hung up. Blocked her number. Changed the locks on our house in case she still had a key from when she used to visit. Mom asked about Sarah for weeks after that. When is Sarah coming to visit? She's busy, Mom. But she always calls on Sundays. Not anymore, Mom. Mom would get confused, upset. I'd redirect her attention, give her medication for anxiety, put on her favorite movie. I never told her what Sarah did. What would be the point? On her good days, it would devastate her. On her bad days, she wouldn't understand. So I carried it alone. Mom died 3 weeks ago, peaceful, in her sleep, holding my hand. Sarah came to the funeral, walked in like nothing had happened, wearing a black designer dress that probably cost more than I make in a month. She sat in the front row. My front row. The row reserved for immediate family. During the service, she cried. Real tears. She spoke about Mom's kindness, her strength, her love for her family. People came up to her afterward. Sarah, I'm so sorry for your loss. Your mother was so proud of you. Thank you, Sarah said. She was an amazing woman. I'll miss her so much. I watched from across the room, holding my teenage son's hand, surrounded by neighbors and friends who'd actually known Mom in her final years. Sarah never approached me, never acknowledged me, never apologized. At the graveside, she threw dirt on Mom's casket and whispered, I love you, Mom. Then she got in her Mercedes and drove back to Chicago. The will reading was yesterday. Turns out Mom had updated her will 2 years ago, right after her diagnosis, during one of those brief, clear periods when she understood what was coming. She left the house to both of us, 50-50. She left her remaining assets, all $30,000 that Sarah hadn't stolen, to both of us, 50-50. But there was a letter, sealed, addressed to me. My dear Jenny, it said, I know what your sister did. I may be losing my mind, but I'm not stupid. I've seen the bank statements. I know about the money. I wanted to change everything, leave it all to you, but my lawyer said Sarah could contest it, claim I wasn't competent. This way, at least you get half of what's left. I'm sorry it's not more. I'm sorry I trusted the wrong daughter. You sacrificed everything for me, and she took everything from you. I see you, sweetheart. I've always seen you. The house is worth $400,000. Sell it. Take your half and build the life you deserve. Don't let her win completely. I love you. Mom. Sarah called me after the lawyer read the will, first time in 3 months. So I guess we need to figure out what to do with the house, she said. Like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't stolen our mother's life savings. I'm buying out your half, I told her. With what money? I'll get a loan. You can't afford a $200,000 loan on a mechanic's salary. She was right. I probably couldn't. But I was going to try anyway. Then I guess we'll have to sell and split the proceeds. Fine by me, Sarah said. I'll call a realtor I know in Chicago, someone who can handle a quick sale. No, I'm handling the sale. Jenny, I have more experience with... You've had enough experience with Mom's money. Silence. Are you going to keep throwing that in my face? Throwing what in your face? The truth? I did what I had to do. You stole from our dying mother. I managed her assets. Into your own bank account. Prove it. There it was again. Prove it. You know what, Sarah? I don't have to prove anything anymore. Mom knew. That's enough for me. I'm selling the house. Found a buyer already, a young couple with a baby on the way. They love Mom's garden, the big kitchen, the swing Dad built in the backyard. They don't know the history. They don't know about the fights, the betrayal, the money that disappeared. To them, it's just a house, a fresh start. Sarah will get her $175,000 from the sale. After what she already stole, she'll walk away with over $300,000 from our mother's lifetime of savings. I'll get my $175,000, my half of what's left after she took everything else. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to pay off our mortgage. I'm going to put some money aside for my kids' college funds, and I'm going to take Mike on the vacation we've been promising ourselves for 20 years. I'm not going to try to live like Sarah. I'm not going to pretend that money can buy back my mother's trust or my sister's soul. I'm just going to live. People ask me if I'll ever forgive Sarah, if I'll ever try to rebuild our relationship. The answer is no. Not because I'm holding a grudge, not because I can't let go of anger, but because forgiveness requires acknowledgement, and Sarah will never acknowledge what she did. She'll continue to believe she was smart, practical, responsible. She'll tell herself she deserved that money for managing Mom's affairs. She'll sleep peacefully in her stolen house, drive her paid-for car, live her comfortable life. And maybe that's punishment enough. Living with yourself when you know who you really are. I learned something these past 2 years. I learned that family isn't just blood. Family is showing up. Family is sacrifice without expectation of reward. Family is changing diapers and holding hands and being present for the hard parts. Sarah and I shared DNA in a childhood, but we were never really family. Not in any way that mattered. Mom would have been 83 next month. I'm going to visit her grave, bring those yellow roses she loved from her garden the new owners said I could come by and cut some. I'm going to tell her that I'm okay. That her real daughter, the one who stayed, the one who saw her through to the end, is going to be just fine. And I'm going to thank her for that letter, for seeing me, even when her mind was failing, for knowing the difference between the daughter who loved her and the daughter who used her. That's enough for me. That has to be enough. If you've stayed with me through this whole story, thank you. I know it wasn't easy to hear. It wasn't easy to live either. Maybe you've got your own Sarah. Maybe you're dealing with your own family betrayal, your own moment of realizing that blood doesn't always mean loyalty. I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. Sometimes sharing these experiences, as painful as they are, helps us feel less alone. And please, if this story resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. Stories like these need to be told. People like us need to know we're not crazy, we're not alone, and we're not the ones who should be ashamed. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves.